Moment Vladimir Putin landed in Alaska, he started winning. He didn't look like someone on which international arrest warrant was there or any sanctions were placed. He was welcomed like an head of the state with full respect. This was a symbolic victory for Putin at the outset. The moment they got in the summit area, they went behind closed doors and a 3 hour meeting happened. And most probably, the first question would have been of ceasefire, and Putin, being a master of tactics, would have avoided that question. He would have started speaking broadly about Ukraine. What he would have said was, let's talk about neutral borders, what their army is doing, what both sides want. This would have forced Trump to change the topic. This was not America conceding. This was Putin playing his game in such a way that this topic is out of the conversation or it was there for a limited period of time. The ultimate symbolism was, as America and Russia were talking in that room, new missile strikes were launched from Russia into Ukraine and the war was continued to happen. This was no random coincidence. This was a planned thing to show the world that even though summit can happen, you can threaten me with sanctions and you can force me to do a ceasefire, I will continue doing the war. Ever since the news of Trump and Putin's meeting came in, the first question everybody asked was there going to be a ceasefire before the meeting? This is because every meeting before this, when diplomats of both the countries met, their most important precondition was ceasefire. But for this summit, there was no ceasefire. This was a symbolic meeting for Putin, but yet there was no ceasefire. This only became a symbolic victory for Putin. Now the meeting happened. When Putin landed, he was greeted like a head of a nation. They went in and they started talking. But when the question of ceasefire came, they dodged the question. The question of ceasefire is now out of question, and the war was going on as they were speaking. So what happens is, hereafter, whenever any diplomat wants to meet the diplomat in America, the Russian counterpart does not need to ask for ceasefire from his country. So this only is a symbolic victory. So anytime, anywhere, Russia can launch the attack. Suppose there is going to be a peace summit next week, they will intensify the attack now to show that the war is escalating there and the other side has to bow down just to show a show of strength. This is the first victory for Putin. The second victory is the propaganda victory which Putin has got. Because till now, in the Western media, Putin has been portrayed as a bad person. There is an international warrant against him for arrest. There are so many sanctions against his country. But come August 15, what was there was a scene for a perfect head of state. So much respect he got and the security was huge. The same images will be put back in Russia when he goes in Russian television. So for the people of Russia, this is not a scene of an isolated country facing sanctions. This is a sign of a country which is a global superpower.